Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the weekly recap. Guys, you really need to be pulling up to the weekly setups, right? Because I called these pairs last week. Let's get into the videos. So, as you can see, the very first pair I took this week was Euro GPP, and we had two time frame in sync. But it's one of those pairs that I was willing to either take or not, depending on if this market play out. But Euro GPP was the one that was ready, the most readiest for the week. So that's what I took. So at the time, this market was still bearish, right? Market was bearish. The 4 hour two was also bearish. So I entered this trade on the 1 hour time frame as usual. So let me show you what I saw on the 1 hour. Um, Monday, I actually entered this trade on Monday. So we had this break retest. So this was where I was analyzing the chart, but there was no engulfing to take this trade from here, right? So I was, just waiting to see how price plays around here. So we had this push when market opened, and then we have engulfings here. Now I could have entered the trade here. It's just because I was, sleeping and it's not even in session. So I didn't enter the trade in this any of this engulfing because of we are not in session and I was basically just asleep. So as soon as I woke up, I saw this strong engulfing candle that engulfed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hours of price action in 1 hour. It's a very strong candle, so I entered right after the second engulfing candle, and then I put my stop loss above the highs, above all these highs right here, and then I targeted 1:2. This is actually the only trade I took this week. This is actually the only trade I took on this pair. But I just put all these ones right here just to show you guys that there were actually multiple entries. This was the break again and the retest. At the retest, look for engulfings, take the trade here, put your stop loss above this high right here. Target 1:3, and this trade would have hit. I wish I actually took this one, right? But I got 1:2 instead. Then this trade, this one would have hit SL because technically, if you read market structure actually shifted bullish around this area right here. So if this was the high, if this was the high, and this was the low, price actually now broke above here, making this market bullish. That's one thing with sell and forget strategy. If you hit SL, it means that market actually like change structure totally. So I took only one trade, which is this one, 1:2, and then I actually did not close here because I just put my alerts. I didn't put take profit numbers. Then as soon as I woke up, I saw the market around here. Then I just closed because technically my alert has already been hit. I've already won. And this trade took very long. If you watch this video that I made on Wednesday, I was complaining about a trade that I was holding for so long. Is this the trade, right? I was holding this trade for 20 hours. Since I entered this trade right here till around here, you can see that 20 hours I've been holding this trade at the time. It was crazy because after 2 days, price came back to break even. 2 days and 6 hours, price came to break even. I was still patient, still holding the trade, and then on the um 2 days and 15 hours, then price hits my take profits. That's why I said patience in this game is very, very patience in this game is very, very important, right? So that is the first trade for the week. Let me delete these two because I didn't really take them. That is the first trade I took this week. It was a W. Now I didn't even expect this massive movement, but you can draw down to hell. I don't care. All right, let's. Then the second pair for the week was AUD card. I took the trade on Thursday after I closed this one, right? So this is Thursday, right? So I was still waiting for a break and retest, but I got this break and retest. Now I could have entered here, but I was still in I was still in Euro GPP, so I couldn't really enter here and put my stop loss above these highs. But after I exited Euro GPP, then I started paying attention to this market. Now I could have entered here because this break and retest still apply. Could have entered right after this engulfing or this engulfing, but this break and retest haven't. It still works, but technically the market structure actually shifted bullish. That's why I didn't enter. Right any of this engulfing, so I had to be patient. Now I was debating on if to just jump in just because Alex is in the trade, but I said to myself, if I take a loss when I've already won for the week because of Alex in the trade, I would have been beating myself off, right? So I just decided to be patient and actually trade what I see. So if I draw this line right here, let me move this. Let me move this. Right. Let me move this out of the way. Now, if I draw, this was the high, right? And this was the low. If you watch that video, I explain all these things, right? So until price break above any of them, the market will shift bullish or bearish. So price broke above this high, making this the new higher high, and we have to find a new higher low for that, which is right here. So if you trace, you see that here market bent, so making this the new higher high. So I could have entered this engulfing, but price was still bearish. I mean, was still bullish. So I decided to wait, and I went to the 30 minutes time frame to enter this trade actually. So as soon as price closed below that line, I started waiting for a retracement. After the engulfing candle, I entered the trade and put my stop loss. I'll explain why I put my stop loss right above here, because I technically supposed to put it here, right here. I'm supposed to put my stop loss above this high, but I put it because if you check on the 1 hour time frame, you can see that price has come to this area multiple times. Price came to this area multiple times, right? If you look well, you see that price came here multiple times, came here multiple times. Now, if I put my SL, my stop loss here, what are the chances that price will not come here again, right? So I don't want price to just weak me out and I'll still be correct at the end of the day. That's why I just put it right above there, so that even if price is coming to weak, you can just come and respect this area and then go down. So that was the second trade for the week. 1:2.5. Amazing trade this week. The other pairs that I analyzed, Euro JPY, we didn't have that break. If you look, we didn't have that break. No break, no retest, no entry. NZD card, same thing, no break, no retest, no entries. Euro AUD CHF, I basically didn't even pay attention to that pair. I was waiting for a break and retest here to enter. I was waiting for a break above this high and retest to enter, but price actually just shifted bearish again. I waited for this break. At the retracement, I was waiting for engulfing. Price shifted bearish again, so I wasn't even interested in this trade. All the pairs that gave us any form of entries actually were wins this week. Ladies and gentlemen, pull up to the next analysis. I'm going to be dropping it on Sunday again as well. And I hope we'll make money next week as well. That's pretty much it for this video. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe, it's free. And that's pretty much it.